You know, you get asked sometimes, who's your role model? Many people will say, especially today's generation, Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or Jack Ma. You know, they'll give you some rich, successful guy. There are people who admire film actors. There are people who admire billionaires, millionaires, visionaries like Steve Jobs. Okay, even me, when I was small, I used to admire larger than life characters. Like I admired, when I was small, I wanted to be like Superman. Because Superman could fly, Superman had superpowers. Then as I grew up, it became James Bond. Because James Bond had the expensive cars, he had the looks, he had the girls. And as a growing boy, girls were so important to me. Then after that, as I grew up, well, I read my first book, Tony Robbins. You can do it. Oh, this and that. Oh, my goodness. I wanted to be like, great. And then obviously, Bill Gates, billions. And I was like, oh, I'll visualize billions. I will dream about billions. I'll write billions on the paper. I'll have the vision board. You remember the book Secret by Rhonda Byrne? Yes, the secret. The secret is in the universe. I'll attract this, the law of attraction. Oh, all that. Okay. Then, as life went on, it became, okay, I wanted to be like any other normal person, man. Wanted to earn millions and billions and yes, I've read books from Richard Branson to Warren Buffett to Jack Ma's special advice to Elon Musk's secrets, the Iron Man. Elon Musk is like Tony Stark. So I read all those books. Okay. So now the question is, who's my role model? Now, it definitely isn't any tattooed guy. It's not Rock, the Dwayne Johnson. Okay, although I do admire these guys like Rock, The Undertaker, because they have stuck on their careers for so long and they've achieved this success, which is very elusive. Like you see wrestling legends like The Undertaker or Triple H, Vince McMahon as a businessman, Donald Trump, even if you don't agree, with his style of doing things, he's successful in his own right. So now who's my role model at the age of 44? And I'll tell you, you'll be a little surprised. And no, it is not Mahatma Gandhi, it's not Nelson Mandela. Please, I'm not one of those, okay? I can't and I don't want to also. I keep getting afraid of this buffalo. He might just come and attack me. I got once hit on my ass by a bull without, thankfully, no horns. Okay. So, who is my role model? I'll tell you, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Okay, you remember on my channel, I've spoken about a guy named Ben. Okay, he gave this donation. He contributed to my channel. He has been contributing sometimes to my daughter. He has given me a camera. Paid a little money for the camera for this one. Okay. Now you must be saying, see, Law is kissing his ass. I'll admit that getting the money feels damn good because money is money, okay? I'm not going to lie to you. When anyone sends me money, I'm so fucking happy. But let's be real. Kissing someone's ass, the person will know that, okay? And people are not stupid, man. People are not dumb. And I'll tell you exactly why I admire guys like Ben. I'll tell you exactly why. Okay. Now here are a couple of things you may not know about Ben. Okay. Ben he's a family man. He's a good father. He has children. I'll not give the specifics. Okay. Because I just want to maintain his anonymity. He was never born with a silver spoon. He had to work his way and earn money. He earned money. He had a career. Then he switched over a career. He started a business. He has today a decent business. So he's a family man. He's a good father, he's a good businessman, and he does a lot of good things for other people. Okay? Now, on top of that, this guy is also physically fit. He considers himself physically fit. He does exercise every single day. Okay? And he's very grounded. Okay? He's very grounded. He's, to me, if I can achieve that, if I can achieve what this guy has achieved, having, okay, children is, that is not the thing. One child is enough for me. He has children. But being able to keep a balance between a family life, business, professional life, do you know how hard that is? Look, I'm not trying to portray him as a saint. I don't know his vices. I don't know if he is a bad guy. Maybe he's bad to others. I don't know. But he's good to me. And I'm gauging on what I've seen of him. And my heart says, yes, he's not perfect, but he is a good human being, a really good. I don't want to mention the things that he has done, that he has shared with me. But I'll tell you, me, my wife, sometimes we speak to him. We discuss, we talk. I'll tell you honestly, if you have $1 billion, it's great. It solves all your problems. Means you have $1 billion in the bank and you get the interest and you can retire. I know so many people who have made their millions and they stay off the grid. They don't have a social media account. They don't show off. They live in some simple place like a third world country. They get the interest and they're very happy. I know guys who are staying in Philippines, Cambodia, Vietnam, even India, Pakistan. They stay very quiet. You'll never figure out that these are rich guys. And they're very secure. They don't have to bother. I admire guys like this. There is another guy just like him. I'll give you another example. His name is Santosh. An acquaintance of mine. I've told you about him. He was a runner. He still runs. He runs marathons. He does triathlons. He does ultra distances of 100 kilometers running. He's a Malayali, South Indian. He's in his 60s. Okay? The guy runs, imagine, the guy runs 100 kilometers. He can run 100 kilometers slow, not sprinting. He does ultra marathons and he's a yoga teacher. He's in perfect health. Perfect health. He has 2 kids. They both are well settled. They have completed their education. They have very good jobs. He has land. He has property. He has a very good bank balance. And the guy started off as a person who was earning maybe, I think $10 to $15. $10 to $15 was his first salary. Okay? From there, the guy now has properties. He has apartments, he has a bank balance. He doesn't show off nothing. For me, that is like wow. I'll give you a third example. My old friend, his name is Mohammad Rafi, Muslim guy, Keralite, South Indian. The guy used to work as an engineer, hardly get a salary of I think $500 a month. Okay, one day he got terminated in UAE. He got terminated and he didn't have a job. He was trying for months and months. One fine day, he came home only to find his baby, his wife and his baby. His wife is a housewife. He has a small little baby girl. She was walking with the baby in the corridor and he asked, what happened? Why are you in the corridor? And she told him, they have cut the electricity. There is no electricity in the house. And imagine, you're talking of 50 degrees heat. 50 degrees heat in UAE. Huh? And then he was like, oh, okay. And then he was like, okay, let me see what I can do. And then she told him, can you bring some food in the house? There's no food. And then she even said, there's no Pampers for the baby. The minute she told him this, he shared this with me. I'll tell you, he spoke to me, he shared it with me. He said, Loy, the minute my wife told me there's no food for the baby, there is no Pampers, something inside me just snapped. I just couldn't take it. Saying I took my car, I went down. He's saying I didn't know what I was doing. I just went. I drove. I saw somebody waiting near the bus stop, and I asked them where did they want to go. They said they wanted to go to Dubai. So this guy from Sharjah, he told him, come, I'll take you. Can you pay me so much? She said, okay. He took that lady, he dropped her to Sharjah. He got a little money. He was like, okay, now I made some money. So then he tried to find another passenger. From there, from Dubai, he took them to Sharjah. So he started doing this back and forth. And end of the day, he managed to make some money. And this he went home and gave it to his wife. Although in UAE, you can't do that. It's illegal, which is so fucked up. They're fucking stupid. Their brains are up their ass. They don't allow people to earn because it's illegal to work without work permit, without permission. And this is supposed to be a government thing, you know, driving taxis. And if they catch you, they'll fine you fucking 30,000 or 50,000. So actual fuckers there. So anyway, so this guy, he did this. So he got some money end of the day. Next day he did it again. And very soon as he started to do it, he found people who wanted to go every day. They would pay him they would pay him monthly. And he started doing this taxi business illegally. And through this small amounts of money that he saved, that he kept earning, he saved. And from there he started to figure out, okay, what can I buy and sell? He started buying stationery and selling stationery and all that. And very soon he started to buy, some people asked him, can you buy this material and all? He started doing trading in a very small way. And from the trading part, one fine day he bumped into a product where they said, can you get this product? And he found out that product was not available in the UAE. So he did a little bit of search, and those days there was no Google. He checked the yellow directory, yellow pages, and eventually he found out there was a supplier in Africa. So he started to negotiate, started to get, and he didn't buy just one. He bought a few of them and he tried to figure out who else wants this. From there he started to build. But now the company people told him, if you have to deal with us, you need a trade license, you need a business. So what he did is, in order to get those days, in order to get an approval, people would come and inspect your office. So he converted his apartment into an office, hiding half the place. You know, like he kept the part of it, you know, sealed behind curtains and a fake wall, so nobody could go through. Imagine the other side is his wife and the baby and all that. So he made sure that they were not at home. See, that person came, he was nearly going to get rejected, but eventually, maybe looking at how genuine he is, okay, fine, he approved it. And after he got that, he slowly started to buy and sell and do this. And today, you know, the last I knew of him, he was earning in his millions. Okay, he was earning in his millions. But that is not the reason why I'm sharing this story. He was still a very grounded man. He was still very humble. He was still very helpful. He was still God-fearing. He was still, you know, his wife is still simple. His children simple. He was simple. Never showing off. Never putting on social media. Nothing. A good businessman. A good family man. A good human being. You know, as you grow older, no? I'll tell you, as you grow older, all these flashy stuff, all this, showing 7-figure income, these babes and all that. People who do that, no, they still, they're yearning for that social validation, to feel special, to feel important. You know, if you're really proud about your wife or your kid, you'll not show off. It's like, just imagine, people are walking here and I'm holding my wife. Hey, look how hot she is. Look at her titties. Look at her ass. Look. See, man, see how hot my wife. You know, if you'd see someone doing that, what would you feel? You'll feel the guy is fucking, what, stupid or what? Would you stand in the middle of the road with strangers and show you hugging your wife, kissing your wife, smooching your wife, and saying, see how much I love, see how much I love? No, you'll not do that in the real world. But then why the fuck do you do it on social media? It's because you're yearning for that. Oh, look, look, look. If you're really happy, you'll not do that, man. You know, these people showing the cash like this and showing the expensive car and showing the expensive house. You know, like even this guy, Nas, you know, Nas Daily. I found out after I had spoken about his video, I spoke to one lady who I genuinely trust. I genuinely trust her. She is a Muslim lady in her 60s. She has grandchildren. She told me Nas and his wife came to their house. You know, they ate for free. They wanted everything for free. They took the video for free. They made all this. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, this, that, all that. They didn't pay a single penny. This lady said she even gave me the footage. She even gave me video. I have it with me of this Nas's wife and her children taking the video from a different angle. And she's saying she just came, she was sweet talking, she ate for free, they enjoyed at our expense, and they went off. And they show the world that they are traveling and this and that. He's saying they're living on other people's expense. See, if you're really happy now, you'll not show it, man. You know, I'll tell you these moments that I share online. I share it because it's like a digital folder. It's like free storage. I put all the memories of me and my baby. I put all the memories of me and my wife. So we just get to see it. Like, for example, today I got to see when my baby was born from the hospital 2 years ago, how my baby looked. I showed it to my wife. So it was a nice memory, you know. So you keep these memories and you feel good looking at it. Now, does that mean I was always like this? No. Even just like you, when social media came new, even I was immature. I was showing off my muscles. I was showing off the girls. I was showing off, hey, look at my big chest, look at my big muscle, look at the power, look at the places I'm going. I was bragging about it. I was thinking I was an intellect. But after some time, you fucking outgrow it, man. You're like, what the fuck? Who the fuck am I showing off for? You just stop. You know, you just stop. I'll tell you honestly, if given a choice, really given a choice, I would just fucking get off social media. Just fucking nonsense, yeah. Utter fucking nonsense. Social media is nothing but fucking nonsense. You know, the same time that you spend on social media, I'll tell you this, just try this. I did this for I think a week. I deleted from my phone Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Once I didn't delete the whole account, I deleted all this, and I only kept like YouTube, you know. So, but I kind of, even though I kept YouTube, that was just to see the news and all that. I told myself I'm not going to look at entertainment. Okay. So what happened is, all of a sudden, looking at the phone, there was nothing. I was like, why the fuck am I looking at the phone? And I decided I wouldn't play games also. So sitting there, I was so fucking bored. When you go to the toilet, you normally take the phone and you scroll. I was sitting in the toilet, I was like, fuck, what am I doing here? Then I went to the toilet. I wanted to come out fast because there's nothing to do. I was counting the tiles. I was looking at the tiles, the walls, everything. Like, fuck, this is boring. So I got out of the toilet fast. I went and sat in my room. That time my wife was not there. I was like, okay, now what do I do? So since there was nothing to do, nothing to scroll, nothing to read about, I started to do work. And when I was doing work, when I finished my work, I was like, okay, now what do I do? So then I took out a book. I started to read. And I'll tell you, because there was nothing to do, I even went to sleep on time. I got up on time. And after I got up on time, okay, now what do I do? So every time I was asking, okay, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I kept thinking of productive things like, okay, I'll do some exercise. Okay, I'll read a book. Okay, I'll do some work. I'll tell you that 1 week, initially it was a lot of, it was very uncomfortable the first 2-3 days. But after that, you know, I just began to enjoy reading a book. I began enjoying doing work. I was constantly thinking of how I can make money, how I can do work, how I can network. Even there was no game, so I was just busy. All my attention was focused on earning money, studying, and living a normal life, doing exercise. And it made me realize, fuck, people who have achieved something in life, who are successful, they don't have time for all this shit. They don't have time for social media, bragging, showing off. I'll tell you, me, I use social media just to market and sell my services and to share these videos. If you ask me on Facebook who's doing what, I fucking don't know. That's why if you see on Facebook, I rarely, if ever, comment on anybody's photograph. I rarely, if ever, like anyone's stuff, There's no comments, there's no likes, there's no engagement, nothing. On my WhatsApp, sometimes I just chat because these are my groups. Others, I don't bother. You'll never see me. Like, I don't know why the fuck should I see anyone else's life? What am I fucking going to get by looking at, oh, they are a photograph, or they are romance, they are baby, they are this, they are that. I don't want to fucking know. I have enough and more shit of my own. That's why, I'll tell you, if you have something to do, people who have something to do don't have time for social media. People who have a goal, people who have something to study. Like, imagine if you're about to sit for an exam. Would you be busy sitting on Facebook? No. If you have a goal, if you have, let's say, $1 million you want to achieve as a target, do you think Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk is sitting, oh, what did she do? What did he do? Oh, let me comment here. Let me argue with them. Let me fight. Let me post a nice photograph of eating at Starbucks. Let me take a photograph of my burger. No. Let me put some words of wisdom. Come on, man. So that is why for me, I admire people like this. I admire people who have achieved, I wouldn't say a balanced life, but rather I would say a happy life, a self-sustainable life. For me, at 44, I'll tell you, sometimes I get up in the morning, I'm like, what the fuck, yeah. I just get up, I'm like, whole body's aching. I went to sleep at fucking 5:30, man. 5:30 in the morning after uploading all these videos. I uploaded all of them. I answered all the WhatsApp messages. Now to answer the emails. I was doing that, connecting people for jobs. Because they send their CVs to me, as a matter of courtesy, I'll respond to them. I cleaned up my computer, hard disks. I started to delete the files. The whole fucking night it was deleting files. That many files were there. And I got up in the morning, I was like a fucking zombie. I was like, fuck. I got up, I sat on that orange sofa, and I'll tell you, because I hardly slept at 5:30, got up at 9, I just lay down and I dozed off to sleep. I got up, I think, again at 2:30. Again, my body was aching. My head was like, pounding. And I told my wife, just press my leg a little while. And then, I'll tell you, morning, I sent this guy, Ben, a message. I sent him a message. I said, man, for me, I admire people like you. I admire people like him. I'll tell you, once you get married and you have children, life changes. Life changes not because it's a magical moment and this, and it's responsibilities. You have a mouth to feed. You have to earn and take care of 2 other people. So 24/7 you're thinking about them. Okay, what do I do? How do I make money? Okay, what is the expense for next month? What is the bills for next month? What is the electricity, water, the rent, the insurance? Okay, the education. Okay, what about, we have to save money for a house. We have to save money for one day if something happens to me, if I die. What about her education for college? You have to think of all this. So, and then you have to think, okay, what about the expense for the food? Okay, what will we eat today? Okay, we have to go to the supermarket, we have to buy things. I'll tell you, all these things just bound on, and then you have, okay, how will I make money? How will I earn? The day-to-day grind, The day-to-day grind when you have a family, it changes you as a human being. When you're single, when you're a bachelor, when you're a spinster, you'll think boyfriend, girlfriend, love, sex, holiday, go out, enjoy, have fun. But once you have a little life that you're responsible for, you don't think of all this shit that goes on. I want to travel the world, I want to see the world, I want to this and that. No, that all fuck all. That's all nonsense. You travel, you see, and this and that if you have excess money. Those who live on as a single person, or you're working for Emirates Airlines as a cabin crew or this or that, or you have a sugar daddy, or I know so many females who have a boyfriend or someone else's husband, and they go for holidays and they show off on Facebook and social media. Oh, I'm living the dream. And what fucking dream? This is all temporary shit. One day when you become old, shit will hit the fucking ceiling, man. See, when I was young, I didn't fucking care. Bodybuilding, I was lifting fucking heavy, taking steroids, showing off with the muscles, and going to meet the girls and wanted to have sex and show off on Facebook and brag about it and all that. Buy the latest perfumes. I used to literally buy $1,000 worth of perfumes to put, and I say which is the best brand, and try it, and girls would come and smell, and I'd buy this new clothes, and I wanted to show off. I would take a girl to Burj Al Arab, some fucking expensive joint. Just imagine, just think, $1,000 just for meal for 2 people to show off. Oh, that valet parking is there. Oh fuck, they welcome sir, and you feel like top of the world. Why? Because you want to shag this girl, and she's so impressed, or she's like thinking, oh, this guy's so loaded, I'll make sure that I suck and swallow, I'll let him fuck me everywhere so that he'll take care of me. And it's all fucking nonsense. All this you enjoy, yes, you enjoy, you have fun. But when you settle down, no? And it's like settle down, you become still. When you have a wife, when you have a baby, that sex, that romance, that craze, you just realize it's so shallow, so fucking empty. You're constantly thinking about, okay, what is next? You're constantly thinking about how to earn, how to save. You stop looking for likes and positive comments. People who are level-headed, they don't give a fuck to all this. That's why for me, these clients and friends who are earning 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure, fuck, they're big. You'll not believe they don't fucking post a single shit. Some of them don't even want a social media presence. They just don't want. They don't want their photograph. They don't want their image. They don't want their family people. See, like for example, Bill Gates. He doesn't allow his children to be on social media. Bill Gates has never allowed. Facebook, you think Facebook, he puts his family on social media. Elon Musk, does he put his family? Successful people will not put their children. They will not put their children because they know the evils that there is associated, the addictions. Why do you think I'm not going to let my baby be on social media? I put it through my channel, okay, fine, because there is a brand association with it, okay, as a family man, and yes, these are the memories. You see my wife? Hardly there. It's only what I tell her to post, she'll post. If you have something to do now, you'll not be on fucking social media, man. You'll be busy. Unless, of course, you're earning a livelihood. See, for me, now as I grow older, you start looking at life in a very different lens. You don't want to show off, you don't want to brag. I'll tell you, day and night, the only thing which I want to do is earn money. I want to give value, earn money, save for my family, live within my means, eat good food, have good health, do my exercise, provide value to my customers and clients, because that is how you build a brand. Just be happy. Okay, play my game. I feel happy playing a game. And yes, that's about it. The friends and family that people want, the people who give me money for my work, whether it's donations, whatever, that penny, small penny, $1, $1, I save it. You don't realize this when you are an employee. You realize it when you're a businessman, the value of every penny. Every penny, you know. Today, even my wife, we collect the coins. We have a piggy bank. We keep the money there. You will not believe. Just those coins, it's just the coins itself. Imagine I'm saving in Thai baht, Thai baht. We managed to save up to almost, I think, $500, 500 USD. Just by Thai baht, saving those coins, just coins. So imagine the value of a coin, a penny. And this I learned from my mentors, the people who I admire. Not the Elon Musk, not the fucking Jack Ma and all that fucking Richard Branson and all that shit. I've read all their fucking books, all fucking nonsense. Fucking useless talk. You know, all these internet marketers, 6-figure, 7-figure. What the fuck is 6-figure, 7-figure? You know, it's like going around telling, hey man, look, my dick is big. Look. You go around showing your fucking penis to people? No. Same thing with religious people. Hey, I'm holy. Oh, law. They pray in front of you. They light a candle. They raise their hand to show everyone they're fucking holy. You know, if you're really a good human being, no? If you're really a good human being, you'll not show it. It's a very private thing. It's like your fucking penis. You know, you keep it hidden. You only use it where it's required. Don't fucking go around, hey, look, my dick is so big, you know. That's how religious people, for me, when someone says, you know, Jesus Christ, you know, Allah, you know this. It's like, you know, showing your dick. Here, see my dick, see. No, keep it in your fucking underwear, man. It's for you. Fucking idiot. If you're good, keep it for you. Don't talk good, fucking do good. Don't tell me that you're fucking good. Don't tell me that your religion talks good. Do fucking good. That's called being something. Most of the people who I keep in touch with, they don't give me sweet talk. Oh, Lloyd, big fan of yours. Like, fuck, man, amazing. Fuck. Okay, thank you. Yeah, big fan. Okay. You're a big fan because I give you free content on my expense, my time, my effort, my research. Yeah, big fan. Hang. There is one ceiling fan, one AC fan, one table fan, one rotating fan, and you're another fan. I don't want another fan. I want money. So that's why the people who give me money, I like you. Because I'll tell you, money is the fucking deciding factor. Try this. You give money, see how many friends you'll get. You take people out for parties, see how many friends you'll get. But then one day, when you lose your job, when you have no money, say, please, can you help me? You'll come to know who your fucking friends are. Who your relatives really are. Who your well-wishers are. That's why for me, even a person gives $1, for me it shows their value. You know, do you know this? That there are people who are so fucking rich, so successful, or forget all that, they don't even give one fucking dollar. Not even one. They'll not give one fucking dollar. They'll not even fucking buy you a fucking cup of coffee. But they'll give sweet talk. Man, Loy, you're amazing. Loy, I respect you. What the fuck? Keep your fucking respect up your ass, man. What, respect is going to fucking feed my family? It's going to take care of my bills? What the fuck will I do? Like people, you know, I've got offers for starring in, that time, you must have seen last year, Big Brother and some fucking reality show and so. I immediately told them, how much money will you give me? How much money? Say, how much money you're looking at? I said, I need money for every day that I'm missing, that I'm not working. Money for that. I need money for fucking traveling. I need money for fucking staying. I need money for my child. I need money for my daughter. Sorry, my wife. I need money for all this. And I need the money for the opportunity cost that I'm not able to do my work. Plus, you'll give me money for coming onto your show. He's like, hey, man, are you for real? We're going to make you famous. We're going to make you, if you get a big hit, you might become a superstar. Yeah, fuck your superstar. Put it up your ass. What fucking superstars? How many fucking superstars have come out of Big Brother, Little Sister, or some fucking... and I just Google searched to see what the fuck is this Big Brother shit. Fucking disgusting nonsense. I don't know what kind of crowd watches that kind of shit. So I said no. I've been offered movie roles where I have to be the side villain or something, and I have to show drugs and hold a gun and stand next to a babe or stand like a bodyguard. And people told me, yeah, for free. Fuck you for free. You know, when I was in Dubai, there was I don't know, some kind of movie with Mohanlal or Mammootty Mohanlal, I don't know which actor. I was supposed to be a villain. There was a Tamilian or something, Tamil or Telugu actor. I was supposed to get beaten up by him in a club or something like that, or stand as a bodyguard or some for one heroine, she'll dance, la la la, and all that. I was like, go fuck yourself. I asked them even more money than what I would get paid. They're like, what? Do you know who we are? Do you know how big this star is? Your star is up your fucking ass. I know people I have clients who have worked with Salman Khan for fucking movies. They actually have worked with movies, this thing. And they have even starred in those movies. Can you believe? Just that I can't tell you who they are. But guess what? Even though they have starred with them in the movies, nobody knows they exist. They got paid peanuts. They have been trying. I know people who have tried for 10 years, 15 years in movies. You'll not even recognize them. Why? Because they are not the focus. It's the Salman Khan or it's the Shah Rukh Khan, or people kiss their ass because, oh, Shah Rukh Khan. That's why if you check my Eloy Macedo, where the video where I criticize Shah Rukh Khan's TED Talk speech, his speech is fucking average. It's fucking crap. But wow, Shah Rukh Khan, wow. He's a fucking actor, man. He's fucking there to entertain. He's not your fucking god. Oh, Shah Rukh Khan is so great. What the fuck are you, man? So people have these weird, fucked up role models. You know, I have told my wife, the real role model for you is your mother. Her mother who works in the field. She works in the sun. She's, I think, in her 60s or something. She works in the fucking sun. In the field for, 8 hours, 12 hours in the sun. She has no surgery. She has nothing. She is simple. She works. And I'll tell you, she does her work and she goes and prays every day in the temple. I told my wife, I want you to be like that. Be like that, I'm so fucking proud of you. I told my wife was saying, oh, I want our baby to study in this big Harvard school, and she called it Harvard, and, in London school, Oxford, she was talking about. I said, no, I don't want my kid to study in London, Oxford, and all that ding dong. No, I want my kid to be a farmer. Let her be a farmer. Let her be a businesswoman. Let her do simple things in life. I'll be happy with that. I don't know Harvard, Oxford, and this and that. Who the fuck? Suppose I die half the way. What Harvard and Oxford? My wife is talking all big only because I'm there. Tomorrow I'm dead, which I will, I don't know when I'm going to fucking die. Who's going to fucking pay for Harvard and Harvard and Barward, Oxford? People think, oh, everything is going to be fine. No, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, in today's video, I just wanted to keep things real. I wanted to tell you that my role models are people who are real. People who have struggled, who have come from abject poverty, and today are leading a simple life, but not showing off. They're not on social media. They are not showing their flashy cars and big bank balance and babes and 6-figure income and showing on Facebook how big their sausage is. Oh, my religion, oh, Allah did this, or Jesus did that. Or, no, shut the fuck up, man. It's people who are grounded, who lead a happy life, who take care of their families, who take care of loved ones, who don't do talking, but show through their actions. Those are my role models. For me also, personally speaking, I'll tell you, sometimes I just wish I could fucking disappear. I wish I was not there on social media. I was just not there. But on an island, the only way you can make a living is through this. It's a job. For me, it's a job. It's not flash in the pants and all that. And you get all these useless third-class characters who will fucking talk and yap and... See, she has good life. You don't do work? You do work, no? Otherwise, new wife. She know, no? She know. How many girls send me message every day?
Oh,
How many?
can't remember, but oh,
Say loudly. How many girls send me message? Many. Every day. They don't mind. Girls don't mind, even if you're married. Okay, I will come. Make soup, Make soup. I like. Okay, that boiled soup yesterday. I like fresh soup. It's good for the health. So anyway, guys, on my channel I keep it real, man. I don't do all this bullshit, fucking talking, fucking nonsense and 6 figure, 7 figure. And I deal with all kinds of people. It's not that I hate the people who comment. I don't hate you. There are all kinds of people, good, bad, ugly. Even the keyboard warriors, even these guys who criticize me, I absolutely do not hate you. You guys keep me grounded. I'm telling you that. You keep me grounded because otherwise there would be no accountability. I know for a fact anything that I say, anything that I do, it's recorded forever. And that can be used against me one day. So I'm very careful what I say, what I do, what I put up. And I absolutely make sure that whatever I do is ethical, is right. Because it takes only one fucking mistake to destroy your reputation. So that's it, guys. Through this channel, I speak to you from my heart. I appreciate all the people who support me. Yeah, surprisingly, even youngsters, they send me sometimes $1, $5. I appreciate it. Then there are people who send me big amounts. I appreciate it. Then there are people who just give me sweet talk. Fine, I appreciate it, even though it doesn't pay me anything. And then the haters who bash me up, who literally insult me, call me names, call me a fraudster, fake guru. Fine, go ahead. What, you want me to sit with each and every guy and convince each and every guy? There are Muslims who believe Allah is real. There are Christians who believe Christianity is real. Hindus who believe cow is God. That if you drink the piss, cow urine, you'll be healed. Am I going to sit with each and every one and convince them? I'll put you in touch with each other. Muslim be in touch with this Hindu guy. And you debate with each other. You prove Allah is real. You prove drinking cow piss heals. Spend time together. Talk. I don't have time for all this shit. I have bills to pay, man. So I just want to keep it real. And I want to tell you, if you are looking for a role model, don't look at these role models of 6-figure income, 7-figure income, Jack Ma and Jeff Bezos and all that. What the fuck, these billions? How many meals can you eat per day? How many clothes can you wear per day? How big can you buy a TV? At some point you'll get fed up, right? How many shoes you'll buy? How many socks? How many clothes? So yes, it feels good to have unlimited income, but we need to keep things into perspective. We need to be grounded in life, So if you want a role model, if you're seeking one, look at someone you can relate to. Someone who you feel, yes, I can be like him. It's possible. And I'll tell you, when you find that one person who you can relate to, you will end up being not only like him, a little bit better than him. And that's enough. Because in the end, it's not about the big amount of money and the six-pack abs and all that. It's a satisfaction to get up in the morning. You're like, wow, what a beautiful life. I get up in the morning, I'm so fucking happy. I'll tell you, okay, my body aches and all that, but I'm so fucking happy. It's like I'm happy that I have my baby. I'm happy that I have this life. I can work with whomsoever I want. I can do whatever I like. I don't have a fucking boss. I don't have a fucking schedule. I have the freedom, I have the creativity. I love my life, man. If someone would offer me 10 million or even 100 million and say, oh, you have to be an employee and come back and work. Fuck off, man. No fucking way, man. I earn less than millions, but I'm so fucking happy. This life that I live is a gift. It's a fucking gift, man. If I die now, right now, I'll tell you, no regrets. So fucking happy. The only regret would be, fuck, who would be there for my baby? Who would be there for my wife? That's the only thing. Others, for me, I'll tell you, I was not interested to live only. After my 2011 I didn't want to live. Today, if I'm living, it's only because I want to be happy. So I hope this video kept things into perspective, gave you the reality of life. I like to keep things real. And I hope that, as I share with you like a friend, as a family person, as whatever, this rubs on you a little bit and adds some value. That's all, man. So yeah, guys, this was another vlogging session. Just to share with you who's my role model. Let me know, what do you think? Love to hear your stories. I read your comments, good, bad, ugly. I definitely read your comments. So please do comment down in the section. And yeah, if you feel this video can help anyone, share it with them. Right? You guys take care.